Hey you playa, I want to tell you a story about a time that I put this one specific characteristic on display that made this girl instantly attracted to me and how I handled the situation. Now, the story itself is pretty crazy, but it's something that you can replicate too, even if you never run into the same type of situation that I did. One day, I was riding the train back home from work, sitting there reading my book and eating a bag of Skittles. Nothing out of the ordinary, just a typical normal day until this happened. Sitting across from me was this 10 out of 10. I'm talking about one of the most attractive girls I had ever seen. I saw her enter the train, thought she was beautiful, but didn't say anything. I mean, what chance did I really have? The train doors open up and in walks this incredibly intoxicated guy. I smelled the alcohol on him as he was entering into the train. I look up and see him and just go back to reading my book and eating my Skittles until the person next to me gets up to leave the train, leaving the seat next to me open. As the guy sits down, I feel his body weight press against me. Now, this is one single row with a bunch of people sitting on it, so we don't really have a lot of space. We're pretty cramped. And without even looking at him, all I feel are his eyes just staring down, burning a hole into the bag of Skittles into my hand. I look at the Skittles, I look at the guy, and I realize he wants them. And that's when he started to talk to me. He asked me where I was from, what stop I got on at, and then eventually worked his way up to, hey, can I have some Skittles? Poured some in the guy's hands and watched him start chewing them. Now this guy was incredibly drunk, so some of the Skittle juice was just dripping down his chin as he was chewing it. I looked around and saw that people were kind of disgusted by this loud, obnoxious, intoxicated guy, Skittle juice dripping down his face and leaning against different people on the train as it moved. I especially looked at that 10 out of 10 girl across from me and she just tried to not acknowledge it at all, tried to pretend like he just didn't exist. Eventually, we reach his stop, he gets up, says thank you to me for the Skittles and goes to leave the train. Now the problem here is that the train and the train platform had a pretty big gap there, so you had to really take a huge step to not fall in between. What do you think happened? I look over and see this guy stumbling out, and then I hear, whoo! One leg had fallen through the platform and one leg was still in the train. This man was stuck in between the train and the platform and no one knew what to do. As soon as I realized, I dropped my book on the ground and ran to go pick this guy up. I hooked him under both arms and started lifting as much as I could, but I just couldn't get him to budge. And that's when I realized no one else on the train was moving. People were just standing where they were, watching. I knew the only way that someone would actually help me out would be if I called them out individually. So I pointed at two random guys and said, you and you, come help me now. They jumped up and started to help me lift this guy out between the train and the platform. With the strength of all three of us, we were able to actually lift him up. And the moment that we did, he just turned back, looked at us, and continued walking wherever he was going. And then the train doors closed, I walked back to my seat, picked up my book, and kept reading. But not before I noticed that 10 out of 10 girl sitting across from me was staring at me, smiling. We made eye contact, she smiled at me, and I knew I had showed off the trait that made her instantly attracted to me. And that trait is true leadership. Being a leader is all about taking care of those around you, understanding their needs and their desires, being someone that they can look up to, someone they feel inspired by, someone that they feel has their best interest at heart. And in this situation, I did that for that drunk guy. When danger struck, I leapt into action. But not only that, I got others involved by commanding the situation and helping them achieve something positive too. I'm sure all three of us walked away feeling good knowing that we helped someone. And while you personally may never encounter a drunk, belligerent man with Skittle juice dripping down his face, stuck in between a train and a train platform, you will have moments where you can be called into action to be a leader for your friends, for your family, in front of your crush, whomever it may be. And that type of leadership can come in many different forms. For example, you may want to try volunteering, gathering food for people who are hungry, clothes for people who are needy. That's going to boost your attraction level in the eyes of people around you because they're going to see that you're someone who genuinely cares about others. Or maybe that's standing up for someone who's getting bullied, talking to them, protecting them, and guiding them so that they feel confident enough to know that someone has their back. That's going to make you look so much more attractive to people around you because they're going to know you're a genuinely good guy that's reliable, someone that people can truly count on. But I know you're probably wondering, what did you do about the 10 out of 10 girl? Did you talk to her? Did you ask her out? How did it go? And the answer is, it went nowhere. I didn't talk to her. I looked at her, I smiled, and I buried my face back in my book because I still didn't feel confident enough to approach her. You see, even though I had done something that made me look attractive, I didn't feel like I had the skill set to act on it. And that's where the two pieces come into play. Knowing that you have the qualities that it takes to be somebody great and feeling like you can put your confidence on display in being your best self. I was lacking in that second one, so I didn't act on it the way I should have. But promise me, if you ever have the chance to step up and help someone and to reasonably be a hero, take that opportunity. I know you're going to handle it 10 times better than I did. On that note, I'll catch you next time. As always, love and peace.